Do you recognize that tight feeling across your chest when worry sets in? That mental chaos preventing any restful sleep? Those tomorrow-focused anxieties that hijack your current moments? What if I told you there's a single phrase, just 3 simple words, that has the power to dissolve anxiety the moment it appears? This expression proves so potent that neuroscientists analyze its cerebral influence, yielding results that will forever alter your stress-handling methods. Yet before disclosing these words, I must ask you to take action at this moment. Press subscribe and enable alerts, since this upcoming knowledge could separate endless worrying from true peace of mind. This video originates from compiled scientific research from worldwide academic institutions and freely accessible public health materials, offering updated information particularly suited for individuals over 60. Now, let me ask you something honest. What percentage of your years has been invested in stressing over things that remained imaginary? What count of lovely occasions have you failed to notice because your awareness was confined to either tomorrow's fantasies or yesterday's pain? What's true is that anxiety doesn't exist in the immediate present. This isn't possible. Anxiety perpetually relates to either what could occur or what has occurred. It nourishes itself from moments that don't exist in this instant. And here's where everything changes. The expression that eliminates anxiety is nothing more than, I am here now. Just 3 words. Merely 9 letters. Limitless strength. When you articulate these words with true consciousness, something phenomenal happens in your cerebral system. Functional MRI research reveals that mindful presence promptly diminishes activity in the amygdala, our fear processing center, while at the same time enhancing prefrontal cortex activity, the region managing rational cognition and emotional balance. Still, this goes far beyond just neurochemistry. This relates to freeing your existence from the domination of make-believe hazards. Consider this carefully. Right at this second, are you doing okay? Not about tomorrow's uncertainties, not next week's possibilities, not in those late-night mind-created scenes. This very second. The answer is almost always yes. In this instant, you're inhaling and exhaling. In this instant, you're protected. At this instant, you possess all that's required to exist fully in the now. Most folks over the age of 60 harbor decades' worth of gathered concerns. We've been through enough to realize that challenging events are possible. We've experienced loss, disappointment, health challenges. And because of this experience, our minds become hyper-vigilant, constantly scanning for the next threat. This is what psychologists call anticipatory anxiety, and it's exhausting. It's akin to participating in a marathon while staying in one place. Your physical system can't distinguish between actual dangers and invented ones. As you worry regarding tomorrow's medical visit, your cardiac rate spikes, blood pressure increases, and stress hormones saturate your system, as though the threat were immediately occurring. This chronic stress doesn't just feel terrible, it literally accelerates aging and weakens your immune system. Here's something powerful that Harvard researchers discovered. When people habitually practice being present, their bodies secrete less cortisol, the primary stress hormone, and more DHEA, typically called a youth-preserving molecule. Merely by bringing your focus back to now, you're actually choosing well-being over pathology, calmness over pandemonium. Allow me to recount a story that portrays this excellently. A man named Robert, aged 72 years, dedicated his days to being consumed by heart-related anxiety. Each dawn he began by checking his heart rate, observing every feeling. Convinced each day could be his final, his partner saw him fading into the stress prison until one afternoon, positioned in his garden, he spotted a butterfly touching down on a neighboring flower. For mere seconds, his thinking went entirely still. He wasn't worried about his heart. Tomorrow wasn't in his mind. He was only viewing this butterfly, entirely present at that time. And in that moment, he realized something profound. His anxiety wasn't protecting him. It was preventing him from living. From then on, whenever worry surfaced, he would state to himself, "I am here now," and shift his awareness to something in his current environment, a particular sound, something tactile, the act of breathing. Through time, this uncomplicated practice reshaped his existence more significantly than any medication. Now then, pause this video momentarily, merely 5 seconds, and experiment with this yourself. Pronounce aloud, "I am here now." Feel your body in the chair. Sense the air touching your skin. Listen to the sounds in your environment. Observe how swiftly your anxiety reduces when you authentically arrive in this moment. This isn't positive thinking or denial. This represents something far more impactful. It's simply what is. The present moment is the only moment that actually exists. All else consists of recollection or mental creation. When you truly get this, not just in your mind, but in your very being, anxiety loses its power over you. You see you've been suffering regarding situations that aren't real at this instant. And before we progress, your help is needed in disseminating this message. Leave a comment with either the number 1 if this is making sense to you, or 0 if you're skeptical. Your interaction helps this video find others who urgently need this knowledge. Now, let's talk about how to use this phrase effectively, especially during intense anxiety. The key is not to use it as a weapon against anxiety, trying to force the anxiety away. Rather, employ it as a stabilizer, a soft prompt to come back home to now. As you recognize anxiety escalating, pause. Draw in a slow, deliberate breath. Articulate, "I am here now," either out loud or internally. Next, activate your senses. What meets your eyes? What sounds reach your ears? What can you feel? This uncomplicated practice stops the anxiety cycle before it intensifies. Brain research shows that complete presence and complete anxiety cannot coexist. These states are contradictory. Presence removes anxiety just as light removes darkness. Not by resisting, but merely by being present. For those of us past 60, this technique is exceptionally helpful because we often harbor not just immediate concerns, but also amass anxiety from a lifetime of obstacles. We might anguish over health issues, economic stability, our kids or grandkids, or loss of self-sufficiency. These are valid concerns, but anxiety about them doesn't fix them. It only prevents us from enjoying the good moments we still have. Taking action resolves problems. Being present provides peace. Worrying does none of these. Here's the transformative power of this phrase. It acts immediately, demands no payment, creates no unwanted effects, and functions anywhere, whenever. Therefore, here's what I challenge you to do. Whenever you perceive anxiety forming, implement the phrase, "I am here now." Say it with awareness. Ground yourself in your senses. And this is my ask for you right now.